We're going to be quick. All right, episode 19 of the Untitled God is Dope podcast or God is Dope Untitled podcast, either or.
Yep.
We back in a new factory. You know what I'm saying? Well, 1/3 of our new factory. We got one factory this way, and we got another factory that way. And we're in one of the factories right now.
They all connect.
They all connect. You can take a look around. Cameraman, you can take a look around. Take a look around with the camera. Pan around. We got people packing orders, man. We got people packing orders, fulfilling orders, picking orders. It's wild in here. We came up with a new system the other day. We gonna get into that. What are we talking about today, Jay? What's on the agenda?
Well, on the last podcast, we ended with our idea behind the tiger shirts. So since then, we've done the tiger shirts, goat shirts,
wow,
the I Can't Breathe shirts.
Wow.
Moved to a new factory.
Wow.
Cut all ads. Now we're selling at $24.99 at the moment while we're in between factories.
The first time selling at $24.99 in how long?
Years.
Yeah. That's what you do when you don't want to sell. So anybody out there that's selling shirts for $24.99? No, I'm just playing. This is what we do when we don't want to sell. And we still doing what, like $2,500 a day on average?
Yeah, after returns and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, cool. First things first. What did we do? Did we talk about what the Tiger collection did?
No.
We don't have to because it wasn't done.
So yeah, we ended up doing. Originally, it was supposed to be one shirt, which led to like 7 shirts and then 4 shirts, and we ended up doing 4 colorways.
Yeah.
2 colors, 3 colors.
Yeah.
We kind of released it all over the place, so it wasn't like a traditional drop for us.
Facts.
But we probably sold. It was about 20,000 shirts overall.
Yeah. 20,000.
Yeah, I think it was about 5,000 each color.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, cool.
So they sold over a longer period of time just because of the way we were doing it. It was marketed within the $5.99, then without it, then $14.99.
Yeah, we was all over the place with that. We was all over the place with the Tiger collection.
So we kind of skipped through that. And then the next thing was The Last Dance had started, I think like a week prior.
Yeah.
Or around that time.
Yeah. And last month, we, because I remember the Tiger King being something that it started out like great idea, great color scheme. We was excited about it, but then it was sitting for so long. We was just kind of like, let's just get it out of here, because was that in the midst of us doing $100,000 a day last month, or was that before that?
I believe.
When we first came up with the idea, it was before we was doing 100K a day. But then after we started doing 100K a day, just off the core, we was just like, let's get this over with so we go back to selling our core stuff.
Right. So last month we did $3.2 million in revenue, right?
Yep. Biggest month.
Huh?
That's the biggest month.
Yeah, the biggest month ever.
By far.
And we did it mostly selling 5 shirts, right?
Yeah.
Right? 5 shirts, a hoodie, and a hat.
Really, 6 shirts, right? Because that was before we cut the black and white.
Yeah. White with the black?
Because didn't we cut the white with the black, like, kind of in the middle of that?
Yeah,
or was that before?
Give or take a shirt.
Okay.
You know, plus a couple collections here and there. I Can't Breathe was in May.
Yeah, it was in May.
Goat collection was in May. We dropped the Tiger in May too.
Yeah, that was in May.
Beginning of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we averaged 100K a day last month, and with doing that, you know, we were able to get stuff out. But one thing I did realize was, and Tori can defend herself on this, I'm under the impression that we getting orders out. If I don't see stuff in the system, if it's printed, I'm under the impression that it's out. I come in the factory, I see tons and tons of labels just sitting on tables, and I'm just like, okay, I guess this is what 100K a day looks like in labels. And come to find out, we had 22,000 orders sitting on the table. And not at any point in my life would I have kept like printing orders. had I knew, or even like running ads or doing anything, had I knew we was just collecting, just printing the orders and, not necessarily getting them out. So do you have anything? Because we literally had to weigh every single, what is it called? Label.
Orders, yeah,
we had to weigh every single label to get an accurate count. And we found out that 100 labels roughly equaled 16 to 17 ounces. So we weighed them, and it was like 290 pounds.
Right.
Which was basically 23,000 orders.
Right.
And yeah, do you have anything to say?
I mean, I defend myself. So when we did the Jordan collection, we had 10,000 plus orders.
Already?
Yeah. And then we did the I Can't Breathe. That was 16,000 orders. So before we started printing, I remember we had 30,000 orders. So my whole idea was, in the past, the biggest thing going getting stuff out was getting the stuff here folded, and then also the separation process, which is printing the orders and then separating them, putting them in groups.
Right.
So I knew the I Can't Breathe shirts was getting here on a certain date. So I just had them printing that stuff so that way we could handle those orders. Because out of the 30,000 orders, more than half of that was just the I Can't Breathe.
Yeah.
And then also with that, like, if we don't get orders out the system, like, we left the I Can't Breathe in the system, we couldn't do our regular core stuff. Because SBS only hold 9,000 plus orders in the system.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So transferring the information from Shopify to SBS, they only hold 9,000 orders in there. So if 16,000 is just I Can't Breathe, we just left that in there. We'll never get to the stuff that we can do.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I mean, I get it, but, and a lot of it falls back on me with us, running out of space and that, and, so quick because, like, right now we're in a 7,500 square foot factory. And this is already too small for us. We got another 7,500 square foot factory that's becoming available within the next week for us, and we got another 3,200 square foot factory behind us where customer service, creative, and printing of the orders will be. So just imagine all of this stuff being done in one 4,500 square foot factory. I mean, it was amazing what they was able to do, but also it was almost a nightmare.
I agree.
It was almost a nightmare. Okay, which leads us to the next thing. I might be skipping some stuff, but leads us to why we had to stop running ads. We had to cut the press. We had the lowest day in God is Dope. Probably
yeah.
in the past 3 years at God is Dope.
It was like $480.
Yeah, that was like.
So we went from $10,000 a day, $10,000 on Facebook and Instagram, $1,000 on Snapchat, like $500 on Google.
Mm-hmm.
So about 13 to 0.
$13,000 in ads.
Yeah, to just Snapchat, which is 1,000,
Uh-huh.
and then 0, like as of recently. And so
Right.
that led to that last day, which was like when it dipped, it was like $480 all day.
But recently it's picked back up because I guess people are coming back to the site realizing that we're not going to drop the prices and they just buying. You think?
Yeah, I think that I've been keeping an eye on like the returning customer rate, and it's like a lot of new people. I think just we're at the point where so many people are getting their orders now from like the last couple of weeks, and what do? They post in them, and then people see it, they get inspired, they want to check it out. Those people don't know exactly about the sales we've been running, so to them, $24.99 is decent price. Like I'm sure if those prices were $9.99, we would have our like total organic sales be much higher.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a test to like see what organic influence in the community can do. Only organic for the last week now.
Yeah. And we've been doing a lot of like figuring things out in here. We figured out another screen printing company that could get shirts done. What can they do? 15, 20,000 a day?
Yeah, 15 right now, but they could 15 to 20,000 shirts a day.
We got a screen printing company that can do 20,000 shirts a day. So right now, with all our screen print companies combined, we can do how many a day?
About 45,000 shirts a day.
Yeah. So we're sitting at about 45,000 shirts a day between all four of our primary screen printing companies. Funny thing that happened over this past weekend, or maybe not last weekend, but the weekend before that. I actually worked like 8 hours in here, like filling orders. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, it was a
How
thing.
was it?
It was cool. It led to this system.
That's what led to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
me fixing orders. I mean, this is a system that was already in place as far as putting orders on the table and
Yeah.
and
Do you want to
people-
walk through the system step by step?
Well, I'll let Tori
Old
do that.
versus new.
Or the old way was just the Wild Wild West. I don't even want to talk about that.
Okay.
Um,
New way then.
Well, this is like this. Tori implemented one thing, and I added to it as far as like to keep the pace. So we're gonna talk about what Tori and them did as far as filling the tables, picking and packing. So go ahead and talk about that in 60 to 180 seconds.
Yeah, so our whole process on picking and packing, we switched it about a month ago where we have our reliable people bring the orders to the table.
So turn the camera right there. That's a reliable person. That's printing. That's taking the orders.
So we have our reliable people bring the
Everyone's
orders.
supposed to be reliable, but the most reliable.
Allegedly.
Right?
Yeah.
The most reliable people bring the orders to the table, and then anyone who could work could basically pack the orders. So we have the most reliable people bring this up to the table while everybody else pack the orders.
Right. Cool. So yeah, they created that system. I was in here the other day. I just knew we had a ton of work to do. So I was like, my 7 hours probably didn't put a dent in like what we had to do. But what happened in that 7 hours, I was filling bags up. I was just getting a feel for it. And I'm like, hey, why don't we pay people based off of performance? And we went back and forth with a few scenarios where we would pay people by the ounce or the pound as far as what they did. Then we said that ain't gonna work. It's gonna take too much time. Then we started thinking in other ways. Then we said, what was the next thing we said? Was it just straight?
Yeah, it was just straight to the bag.
So we just said, hey, why don't we just weigh the bag? That's what it was. Just weigh the bag.
Right.
And I said, nah, that's still weighing. It's too much, blah, blah, blah. So then we just came up with a good price. Tori packed the bag in about 32 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he was going at a nice pace, faster than what anybody else would do. And I was just like, I think a fair rate would be $10 a bag. Essentially, it seems crazy because that means at your pace, they'll be making $20 an hour.
When they're talking about a bag, this is the visual. This is a whole shipping bag.
Yeah.
So filled up, right?
Thanks for the reference, Jay.
Because
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, they don't know. I appreciate that. So yeah, packing a bag. Tori did it in 32 minutes. So it seems crazy to pay people just to put stuff in a bag $20 an hour, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, I'm actually saving money by paying that because they were going at 1/4 of this rate in the old factory because it was no incentive. It was no reason for them to move faster because they're just gonna get paid the same regardless, whether they work hard or work slow. So I made it interesting where it's like, okay, you come in here, you can fill 10 bags up, you can fill 5 bags up, you can fill 20 bags up. It's gonna be $10 a bag no matter what. So we got people in here making 170 a day. We got people in here making 120 a day. Well, basically everybody's pretty much doubled their money, right?
Right.
But I'm saving money this way. And that just goes to show you how much money was being lost in talking on your phone, lollygagging. It's the craziest thing in the world. Or I'm able to save money and they're able to make more money. We both happy. That's how much time was being spent not working.
And then the folders have a system too, right?
Folders have a system. Tori folded a box in 12 minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes.
72 shirts in 12 minutes, and we came up with that system where it's $3 a box. If you fold at Tori's pace at 12 minutes, that's probably what, 4 boxes an hour?
Yeah,
5 boxes an hour?
5 boxes an hour.
That's 5 boxes an hour, but that's going at like crackhead speed. You know what I'm saying? But the going rate,
I mean, I don't do nothing fast, man.
like the rate that people start at and God is dope was $8 an hour. So we figured, okay, even if they don't do a box in 12 minutes, if they can do 1 box in 20 minutes, they still making $1 more per hour.
Right.
And the crazy part about it is people still didn't get that concept. People still would rather work hourly at $8 an hour than to be able to control what they make between 9 to $15 an hour. It's crazy, but it is what it is. We weave the people out that didn't want to work. The people that do want to work, they're here, and they're working, and they're happy. They're making money. And I'm happy I'm saving money and getting orders out to the customers, which is the most important part. Jay?
Right.
Yeah. So, are we going to go back to the GOAT collection?
Yeah, we can talk about the GOAT.
Let's talk about that. I wasn't, like, whose idea was the GOAT?
After Kobe, I had mentioned because, well, sure, I was from Chicago, and it was like with the whole craze of The Last Dance. It was like 2 weeks in, and I was like, hey, what if like we just copied what we did with the Mamba collection, with just a reference to Michael Jordan, and we do have a lot of customers from Chicago, even if just they alone put on for the Bulls, like that could be something, but. Sherrod was a little hesitant of it because he said that maybe our customer base might not feed into that as much and not appreciate it for what it is, I guess. So we went from, it was supposed to be 2 shirts, 2 hoodies, a red one and a black one, to then just 2 shirts, to then 1 shirt, to then an white version of it. Like we were going to do a UNC color,
right,
and a Bulls color. So it was going to be two of MJ's teams.
And we ended up doing just 1 shirt, right?
We ended up doing just one shirt, yeah.
Wow.
And that was the black shirt, red and white box logo on the front, and GOAT with the 2-3 on the back.
Right. And it, yeah. I mean, it surprised me. For whatever reason, it went crazy.
Yeah, about 18. And at that time, that was the highest selling shirt because Mamba had done similar like revenue numbers or more, like slightly more, but that was because Mamba had a hoodie also.
Right.
So that was a pretty successful collection, which we can keep going after influential sports athletes and
yeah, that's the thing.
Cultural, like relevant stuff people like.
Right. Yeah, it's the thing. So I mean. Yeah, that went crazy. So that kind of helped us, revenue-wise for that month. Those like two or three big collections, What else?
I Can't Breathe was the next.
Yeah,
then
I Can't Breathe.
We were stuck on the GOAT. That was when we had some packing issues. It was just taking a little longer. Or not packing, sorry, printing, right?
On which one?
On the GOAT collection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we ran into some slight printing issues, delayed that. But then, the tragic events of the last couple weeks happened, and we had a phone call talking about what we could possibly do to help because we saw the huge impact that we had within the Mamba collection and how much money we were able to donate to a good cause. And so Sherrod started that conversation, and we just kind of went back and forth on design ideas.
Yeah, that was interesting because it started out as a God Bless George Floyd.
Yep.
And went from that to just, I don't know, it was another saying after that, and then you was just like, why don't we just overlay it, black on black, white font. It was the overlay of God Bless George Floyd.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, let's do something that's
we
more
came up
more
with
of a general
with
statement.
the overlay idea because the first drafts were just black shirt text. But then we ended up, it was the overlaid, but it was God Bless George Floyd.
Yeah.
And then we switched that to the
I Can't
quotes,
Breathe.
I Can't Breathe.
Yeah, and it did very well, and it opened my eyes to more general statements, and it opened my eyes to essentially, I thought that for me to do a brand where I was talking about stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like I Can't Breathe or My Skin Is Not a Weapon type shirts, I would need to start another business to do that, and it just opened my eyes that our demographic is predominantly black.
Yeah.
Why not, you know what I'm saying, create something like that on our site, well, even if it's on a different page. I don't think no one that buys from us will be turned off, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
by something like that, especially in light of all the stuff that's going on. and we can continue to do it and just donate some of the proceeds to a cause. So yeah, I think we're gonna figure that out. But it's just tough when you're doing this many units and you got this much space, and we trying to keep the SKUs low to minimize confusion and maximize shipment time.
I mean, at this point, it's really just the shipment time. Like the people we got picking orders, they should be like reliable enough, been here long enough to know what's what, and we add new items. All our designs pretty much self-explanatory. Like,
Yeah.
I Can't Breathe said Can't Breathe. The Jordan stuff said GOAT. Like everything's self-explanatory. But now it's just we figuring out with our systems. The less items we have, the more we could group it.
Right.
So the faster we could ship stuff out.
Exactly. No, I'm with it, man. I mean, and it takes for me to like be here to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because before I would just be like, let's add this today. Let's add this tomorrow. Let's do, you know what I'm saying? So it's different when you actually in it and you see like, what y'all talking about. Before it was just like, I might want to add 3 shirts tomorrow. And then especially back then when we didn't have, like, not let alone adding new SKUs adds confusion. The space.
It not being, space and not being here. Because like right now we got 5 designs, but you go to the old factories, like every design we add, and it's a sale day, like that means we added another SKU in that space, and the stuff that we already had gonna sell more.
How does that realization make y'all think about Black Friday when Sherrod added 30 SKUs?
Y'all was with it. Y'all,
I know. I mean, at the moment, hindsight's 2020. Now we would have been like, no, but at the moment we were with it. But
5.
Yeah,
that
was somewhat of a slip up, I guess. But
yeah, I mean,
every year we're learning. I wanted y'all to talk about that. The day I came in and there was a guy wearing a polo tucked into his shirt, and I didn't understand who he was, and Bodie told me the plan. I want to... that was just a funny thing to say. That could take up 10 minutes. 5 minutes.
It could take up a couple minutes. Go ahead.
So my friend Brian met him at Georgia Southern the year I went to college, and he came back home from school, graduated, and looking to see how we've been doing, how we've done what we've done with God Is Dope so far. So he wanted to come and basically work. And I just remember Brian in school when he went to his accounting classes, he had to like dress up. So I was like, man, before the first day you come to work, I need you to dress up in polo and slacks, because like at this point, like fault of mine, Bodie's, I don't know what, but it's like the staff, they out of control. So we want to keep the volume low, no talking, working. So I'm just see if you coming in dress up like you somebody from corporate or whatever.
Yeah, the corporate office in Chicago.
It's like Bodie, myself, Rod, everybody dressed like casual. They don't really like. We look like them to them, even though everything that we do. So like Brian coming on the outside, nobody know who he was, but he dressed a certain way that made people respect him. And like he
like
didn't.
An
he
insurance agent.
Yeah, definitely like an insurance agent. So his first day here, he just walked around with a clipboard. I told him the first day, don't say nothing to nobody. They ask you a question, just look at them and write some notes down. So we did that for about 2 days, and then started getting him real tasks and responsibilities on things to watch around the factory, things, and just getting his own observation. Because even when I first got here, I saw stuff. But I've been here in the middle of everything for a year now, so it's like I may be missing some stuff where a fresh set of eyes may catch something different. So.
Right. Yeah, that was funny. He had a clipboard walking around, like looking at, like just over people, like looking at people, and then there's just and you can hear a pin drop that day. Yeah, in the factory. It was very quiet.
I walked over to Sir because I didn't know who he was, and Sir didn't know who he was either, and he was like, "You, what?" But he told me later on that he would come around and everyone would like, yo, shh.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So it was. That's what I thought was so funny about it, is that it was like totally working.
Yeah, it works.
Wow.
And still, I guess, works. What?
Oh yeah, Marquise. Interesting. I don't know how much time we got, but Marquise gave me a proposition. He thinks he can max ROAS with you, with you, Jay. You know Marquise?
Marquise, like Marquise?
Huh?
Like Marquise that works here, Marquise?
Yeah.
He said what?
He's watching some YouTube shit, knows the guy, and he thinks he wants to do a case study to see if he can max ROAS. as far as like just on the Facebook ad manager, and I'm like,
But how could you do that off like using the same ad manager? Like how you were messing with it?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know,
If he doesn't use any of the audiences we've made.
huh?
I said if he doesn't use any of the audiences we've made.
Right. So okay,
If he
cool.
has to do it all on his own.
So yeah, he's just got to make his own audience,
Yeah.
and we'll see. What's the over under? What do you? So the average ROAS is what right now?
Right now it's just been skewed with the whole. It's kind of hard to say right now, but
What's the over under on that? You think it's possible or no?
it's possible if he does the same things we do. But what
Well, how-
what are the, there's just a lot of components to it.
Yeah.
Copy, photo, audience,
Right.
product.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know me.
It's just him and YouTube trying to figure it out.
He said he has a YouTube. He says he knows a buddy. He has a buddy. So, you know, I'm always up for a case study. I'll give him. When's he get back? Thursday.
Yeah.
I wanna hear his proposition.
Yeah. It's interesting. He's like, cause I guess he watched the YouTube video. He's like, so, what's up with Facebook? I'm like, it's rocking and rolling. So he said he knows somebody. Where's his homie from? Florida.
I'll bet him $1,000.
Oh shit! Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. $1,000. Okay.
But
What's
Marquise with no help. He can't have someone run it for him.
Okay.
Like he has to.
How will we know though?
Yeah, you could cheat. That's the thing. But
Damn. All right, so Marquise with no help, $1,000 on the line. He has. What's the over under?
like the odds that he can.
Like I mean, not the over under, but like what does he have to reach? Like he has to be
I can get
over
a
a 20 ROAS.
I mean, we've hit like the last couple months average like 25. There's just so many components.
So Marquise is a challenge. Okay.
Yeah, but is he shooting all his own different stuff? Like,
I mean, it's probably gonna be the same stuff that we, it's probably gonna be the stuff.
so
that
if if everything's the same, then it just boils down to his copy.
Oh, so okay, so he just had to change the copy. But he has to really know how to do it, though. Like, he can't just, like, he has to know these terms, like copy and, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I think it's.
You think it's horse manure?
I mean, you can learn how to run ads pretty quickly, but running ads like well is different.
Right.
And keeping up with everything and cutting out like over a period of time.
Right.
Because that's where it's the difference between like when we started running ads with Facebook Ads Manager. It would be me putting up 4 different ads.
Right.
And now it's like there's 2,000 ads. That
right. So what's the good time limit to see if he can do it? Like what would you say? Like, because we don't want to cut him off too early. So
yeah,
what's the
that's
good?
the thing.
Because we can't BS around either too long. Like.
Because it is money.
Right. So.
I mean.
We got 2 minutes to figure out like what's the good time limit.
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
I guess, because a week is like, if you set it up right, you have like a week to optimize and then another week to let it run.
All right, 2 weeks.
What budget are you giving him?
What you think?
That's
another because the more you spend, the faster it learns.
Yes.
I don't know. That's huh? And I don't want to give him a bunch of money to mess up either.
Like $100 a day, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Say like at least 300. Like
300 a day.
Yeah, because it got $100 a day in a week. That
I just don't want him to have bad. I mean, if it sucks
at the
beginning,
money.
we can just cut it off.
Yeah, yeah. But is it okay if it sucks in the beginning though, or should it?
I mean, it's not supposed to be the idea of ads is they're gonna start at a certain point.
Yeah.
At that point could be sucking, or it could be like okay, depending on the ad.
Right.
But it's always going to improve over time.
Oh, okay.
Because when it starts, it has like no.
Okay.
base.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. So Marquise, it's a challenge.
But it's really also cheating because if you wanted to do it fairly, like you'd have to have like a totally new pixel, like because this is a pixel that we've messed with for now like a whole year now. Because we started running ads like hardcore last June.
Right.
That was our first like big month.
Right.
Like big month. So
So it's a little cheat factor there with him.
Yeah, like he has factors that he
Wouldn't ordinarily
wouldn't
have.
normally have if he was like approaching a only God and like I can run your ads. You know, like a new
Right.
brand with a similar audience.
Right.
But,
Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So what you even with all of that, the pixel and everything.
Yeah, I don't
you
think we can do it.
Okay, cool. $1,000 on the line. Let's see if Marquise can match that. All right, we signing out. God is dope. Untitled podcast episode, whatever.
19.
Bye.